And you don't miss when something, and maybe also someone is not there. You're happy when they're there, and when they're not there, you don't miss. That is a state of emotional freedom, practically described. No, so you're happy if it is there, but happy if it is not there also. Good. Any other practical?
There is a deep sense of safety.
When there is a sense of safety, yeah.
And fearlessness.
And fearlessness.
You can be you.
You can?
You can be you.
You can
Just be.
Mm,
Just
very
be.
good. So one beautiful what is it, definition that I had heard many years ago of freedom. Can you please put it on gallery? Is when nothing and no one can stop you from doing what you feel or know you should be doing. And when nothing and no one can force you to do what you feel and know you should not be doing. And it was such an inspiration of how to observe my own life, how we live. Yes, we live in a free country, in between brackets. Yes, we live in a free city, in a free society. I can walk out whenever I want. I can sleep whenever I want. I can eat whenever I want. I can talk or not talk whenever I want. But am I truly free? No, and at a deeper level, I had to say to myself, there's a lot of improvement I could still make. Now, if something or someone else is in charge of my mood, then I'm not really free. No? Yes, I'm not in jail, but I'm kind of in jail of the things that decide my mood. If the weather decides my mood, then I'm kind of in jail to the weather. If rain can make me sad, or if snow can make me sad, or if heat can make me sad or discomfort, it means weather is my boss. No? And weather is still a silly, superficial example. But our big challenge for many of us is other people. Can their mood decide my mood? Can their behavior influence how I feel? Or can their behavior influence what I do or not do? Can their behavior or their words or their desires influence what I choose or what I not choose to do? Then I'm still, to big extent, in jail, inside at least. And so this is why the freedom mindset goes beyond, put my flag on this piece of land and we are free. There's no one ruling over me in terms of political context. That is one level. But at the individual, internal level, it is much more steps to go in terms of freedom. Now, I can ask myself, where are my areas of jail? In which areas am I in jail still? And of course, people are one area, relationships may be one area, and it may be that it is only one relationship. All other people are I'm okay, but just one, my mother-in-law or something, or my boss, or this one neighbor. And I'm laughing, but these things are a cause of lot of burden and lot of heartache. We can be in that. There can be the area of your, your professional context. Am I in jail am I free? Or am I free in the professional context? And one way that I can check this is how many thoughts, how much of my thoughts are pulled in that direction, even when I'm not at work. If I'm at work, then I'm supposed to be thinking about work and the context of the projects or whatever it is I need to do. But if, say, you work at 5 and 5 o'clock at close, now it's time for other things, no? But if I'm on the subway, my thoughts are still at work. If I am at home cooking, thoughts are still at work. If I'm interacting with my friends or my family or my social activities, my thoughts are still at work. So who is the boss in my head? Work or some project or some situation? Or is it me? Can I choose to think what is useful and needed at this moment? And we can easily let one area of life completely overrule and overwhelm our whole life. That even we dream of it. You're in bed wanting to fall asleep and you're still at work, or still your mother-in-law is haunting you in your head. Mother-in-law, maybe you're living the other side of the world even, but still she's haunting you. And I'm joking, no, I don't want to. What is it? Be disrespectful to anyone or any relationship, but you understand what I feel. But I mean, no, and at night you're trying to fall asleep, but situation or some exchange or some words are still haunting you. It means mentally I'm not free. Others are in charge of what is going on inside my inner world. And my life is then decided by the way I respond or react to that person, that situation, that specific context. And that context as if overrules my whole what is it? Inner world. You can't stop thinking about it. Have you noticed this? Does this happen in New York City? You can't stop thinking about it. You might even want to, but you can't. Or you might not even notice anymore. It has become so normal to think about that same thing over and over again. It means you are, what is it, in bondage to that thing or that situation or that person. You're not free to be who you are. You're not free to allow your own creativity to emerge. You are not free to do what you think that is truly right to do or to think. Now, we maybe have become used to a situation like this for such a long time that we think it is normal. we are so used to it that we think it is natural to be like that. That life and that human life means your thoughts are all the time decided. Your feelings are all the time decided by others or by situations. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. But we need to wake up to this. Who is creating my thoughts? Who is creating my thoughts? Hmm? You are. So who should be deciding what kinds of thoughts to create? I should be myself, no? So am I master of my own mind? Am I master of my own thoughts? Am I master in my own inner world? Or is something or someone else occupying my mind and ruling my thoughts? And that person or that may not, may probably has not chosen to, what is it? To put you in jail mentally. But you have allowed that to happen, consciously or subconsciously. Now, can this be different? And if yes, how? What can we do about this? Can we do something about this? Is this normal? Do you think? Is normal? We can do something about it. You want to do something, or we want to be free? Yes. Yes, we want to be free. I'll share a story before we continue with the understanding this deeper and unraveling it. There was a man who had a dream, and in his dream he saw God. And God told him, "You want to be rich?" And he said, "Yes, yes, I want to be rich." And he says, "Go to this mountain and you will find a man on this mountain. And this man will give you a stone. And this stone will make you rich for the rest of your life." And he says, "Really, really? Yes, yes. Just go to this man, this mountain, and this stone will make you rich." And at that moment, he wakes up. But the dream was so vivid that he thought, "I better go check this out because it appears so real." So he thought, "I better go." And so he goes to this mountain that he saw in his dream, takes his car, he drives upstate, go to the mountains there, and he find that spot that he saw in his dream. And sure enough, there is a man sitting there, cross-legged in meditation. And he says to this man, "Stone, stone, where is my stone, stone?" And the man looks at him, "What are you talking about?" He says, "I had a dream and God told me you will give me a stone that will make me rich for the rest of my life." And the man said, "Oh, I understand now. I know what you're talking about. Go over there. There you will see a stream, a creek. And on the shore, underneath that tree there, you will find a stone. You can take it. It is yours. It will make you rich." So he goes there, and where the man directed him, and there is a huge diamond. Huge diamond. So he happy, intoxicated. He quickly takes off his jacket, he covers the diamond, He takes it in his car and he drives back to uptown Manhattan. Happy, he is now the richest man in Manhattan. After 2 weeks, he goes back to that mountain. He goes back to that man and he gives him back the stone. He says, "Here, I don't want this stone." The man said, "What happened? You are not the richest man?" He said, "Yes, yes, yes, but I haven't slept for 2 weeks. I had to put extra lock on all my doors. And I had to put a bar in front of my window because all my neighbors, I think they are trying to steal my stone. And my boss is about to fire me because I couldn't go to work. I have to I have to keep watch over this stone, otherwise people will steal it. And even my mother, I suspect her that she's wanting to steal this stone. I don't want this stone. Here, take it back. What I want is what you have, he says to the man. And the man says, I don't have anything. I gave you what I had. He said, No, 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 no. What treasure do you have that allowed you to give away the diamond? What treasure? That treasure I want. That treasure is a mind that is free. That treasure is a mind that is in peace with or without diamond. That treasure is a mind that is happy with or without diamond. A mind that is even more happy to give away so that others can be happy. That is a mind that is free. And I like this story. I remember, I remind myself often of this story because we can get in this mindset that we need. We need this, I will be happy. We need that, I will feel loved. We need that, I will be peaceful. We need that, I will be strong. We need that, I will be successful. More we think we need, we are in bondage. And then we're living from the outside in instead of from the inside out. And then the outer world and our external circumstances, they become our boss and they define how we feel. And actually, life and the dynamics of life and the laws of life are that is the sure prescription for what would be the word? Jail. I can't find it can't call it any other way. You may not be in jail physically, but this is what puts us in jail. And this is, unfortunately, the condition of human society in general at the moment. We think this has to change, this has to happen, I have to have this person has to be like that, then I will be happy. I need this money, I need this, that, I need this, that, I need that, I need that, that one should be like this. Then I will be in peace. It means all those things are holding us in jail. Now, instead of living from the outside in, can we live from the inside out? We can, but we have forgotten. We have lost that wisdom. And we have created a world culture that lives from the outside in and defines that as normal, consciously or subconsciously. You want to say anything so far or ask anything? Okay, then let's go over to the board. I want to make a sketch to help us understand this a little bit better. You see? Freedom and the freedom mindset. At present, we have a perspective on life and on self, simplified. No, I'll try to simplify things for myself so that it's more easy to understand. We have an idea of ourselves and of life that is simplified something like this. I was I'm in bondage to this mic. Uh, yeah, maybe the this is okay. Can you hear? Yeah, sound is okay. So say this is me. And life is an interaction between me and things around. Not me and my body, uh, me and job, me and country, me and others, family, friends. So there are many things around. Money, your Instagram account, your hobbies, your social activities. So life is an interaction between me and all these things around. No? And consciously or subconsciously, we want a certain harmony with all these things or people around. You want it to be in a certain, what is it, balanced, harmonious way. Now, if it is not harmony, there is a certain mismatch. Say there is a mismatch between me and the markers. Say there is a mismatch between me and my job. Now, my boss is not so nice to me, or he doesn't treat me how I would like him to. He doesn't appreciate, he's always criticizing. There is a mismatch. I would like him to be nicer, or at least not all the time bugging me and criticizing me. Now, how do we respond to that mismatch? Or what are different ways that we could respond to that mismatch? Hmm? Yeah, we can avoid the boss. How else we can respond to that mismatch? Hmm? We can adjust to that mismatch. Any others?
Try to communicate.
You can try to communicate, but you have tried. Doesn't listen. Or he listens, but he continues. He may even say, yes, yes, I understand, but he continues 1 week as well, and then again, same thing. Huh? Hmm? You can full punch? I don't understand. Oh, feng shui. Ah, okay, yeah. Feng shui. But also that doesn't help. It helps a little bit for a little while, and then all the other colleagues become good, but this one is a bit staunch. Give him tranquilizing pills. That will also help temporarily. Now, this is just to get us thinking, no? What are ways to deal with these situations? And we can avoid, we can adjust, we can try to communicate, we can try to get tranquilizers, we can complain about him, we can gang up with other colleagues to him. We can also quit the job and go for another, but then you will have another boss. You don't know if that one will be better. So we find all kinds of ways to deal with it, but we can also take a different approach. We can also say, okay, what is here that I can learn? This is life is a school. What can I learn? Some unpleasant person can help me to be more resilient, can help me to be more tolerant, can help me to be more precise with my work, can help me to go back to my contract and see what really was the agreement there, can help me learn to speak out also. Sometimes we just need to learn to speak out. And if really there is nothing for me to change, then I don't change. But why should his behavior influence me? But in this relationship, this interaction, where there is the mismatch, there are two sides, me and boss. And what we often try to do is to have him be different. Complaints means he should change. Avoid means he's not good. Communicate means you have to do what I want. Often, I'm not saying that's always the case, but we can position ourselves like that. Adjust means something I can do. Learn means something I can do. Because in the mismatch, there are two sides. This side can change, but this side can also change. And one thing that I can do, which is very helpful, which will free me, is to drop or lower my expectations. Expectations are a sophisticated word for bondage. Expectations are a sophisticated word for jail, emotional jail. I'll give an example. You came here when you're free. Nice. You came from your whole day, you can come and you go. But if you came here with the expectation that someone was standing at the door with some fresh orange juice, handing you, bowing you with with some music on. If you came in sincerely, but with that expectation, what would have happened? You would be disappointed. And that disappointment would not allow you to see other things that might be useful for you, that may be pleasant. But you would be so focused on your expectation and your expectation not fulfilled. And your feelings and your inner emotions would be all around that. Whether those expectations are realistic or whether those expectations are based on some past experience, whatever reason, but expectations put you mentally in jail. And then the other from whom you are having that expectation is in charge on fulfilling your expectation or not. And we can have other words that we use for expectations, desires, demands, needs. But it is a sign of an inner sense of lacking. And I want someone or some situation to fill that gap. But what about taking a different position? And the position would be a position of inner fullness. Of needing nothing. I could have come here. Everything here is extra. I don't need anything here. I don't need the chairs. I don't need a light. I don't need a mic. I don't need a whiteboard. I don't need a flyer. It is nice. I use it and I experience things with it, but I don't need it. And then it becomes an extra gift. Someone smiling at you is an extra gift. Someone talking to you is an extra gift. And some flowers. You don't have to carry it home to be able to enjoy it here. It's a nice gift. But I don't have to have it. And I don't have to own it. And I don't need to come next time expecting it again. Something else may be there, nothing may be there is also fine. That is the freedom mindset. A mindset with less or lower expectations. And then you may say, then what is the motivation to act? What is the motivation to do things if I'm not expecting a return or expecting a specific return? Now, maybe your motivation is just to do what is right. Maybe your motivation is to give and to share. Maybe your motivation can be to contribute from your own talents and your own, what is it? Your own specialities. In relationships, any relationship, not only, what is it? Intimate, personal relationship, but any relationship. What is the purpose of a relationship? One time we had a booth at a health and beauty fair, a meditation booth. They had invited us. So, of course, many people walking around thinking, what does meditation have to do with beauty? And what does meditation have to do with health? So many people came with questions. What is this meditation and how and what? And there was one lady, nice exchange. And she said, now I get it. So can I get a husband here? She says to me. And before I can answer, she gives me a list. And he should be like this, he should be like that, he should be like this. Can he have this? Can he have that? Will he be like this? Will he be like that? And I started smiling. So I asked her, oh, okay, do you have all those qualities and characteristics? And she said, no, of course not. That is why I want a husband who is like that. So I said to her, don't you think that anyone, a future husband, would also want you to be like that? Caring and loving and understanding and tolerant and entrepreneur and creative. And she thought about it. And I said, no, we will not, you cannot, we're not here for providing husbands, but you can make yourself worthy to to attract something like that, which is a different mindset. I want others to give me, situation to give me, or emerge within yourself that greatness and that beauty that you want to share with others. That is the freedom mindset. And spirituality tells us you innately are that. Innately, as a soul, as a spiritual being, you have all that beauty and that quality and that power and that wisdom, but you have blocked it. Just like the sun, it's always shining, but we can block the sunlight and then we don't experience it. Same. We haven't allowed the spiritual beauty and truth of who we are to emerge. And we have conditioned ourselves, and we have been conditioned for a long time through our culture, through our education, through the belief systems that are governing society, and also cultures and family life, through the belief systems that we hold about ourselves. And one big belief is I am born at a certain moment in time and I live my life, and I'm at birth, I'm nothing and no one. And I become someone, I am someone because of what I get. I get a body. I get an upbringing, my parents. I get a family. I get from them an education. I accumulate more and more things. So I become someone based on what I acquire, based on what I achieve. But I start out nothing and no one. Life and success in life is based on what I can accumulate, what others give me, what I can take by hook or crook, or by effort, or by training, or by educating, or by hard work. I become someone. I value myself. I feel I am successful or not successful. I create a family, creating my legacy. I feel I become someone. This mindset, this perspective on life and on self, makes me dread this moment. Because what will happen at that moment? Yeah, you will be again nothing and no one. Because all this, what you have acquired or accumulated or received, will fall away again. Even this body. It will become old, gray hair and wrinkles and sick, and will not be there anymore at some stage. It will return to nature. Simplified, this is the perspective on life and on self that we carry with us. And we have created a world culture based on this perspective. Simplified, I know there are more angles to it, the spiritual perspective on self and on life is very different. The spiritual perspective says you are a spiritual being, a soul. You are immortal and you are innately godlike. So you are innately, you have as if God's DNA, psychic, spiritual DNA. You have potential to infinite peace. You are innately a loving, innocent, pure being, a playful being, a happy being, a powerful being, a free, immortal, a soul. And this being comes in the physical world. At some stage, enters the womb of a mother and then gets associated with a body. Fetus, or embryo at the beginning, and then fetus, small, but you are whole and complete as a soul. And then you get associated with a body. And then there is the moment of birth. And then the human experience begins. But all of this is extra. It is an extra experience. And then at some stage, the experience ends. But you remain what you always were. The immortal, godlike being of light, the soul. That will never leave. And you have just had an extra experience, which is nice, which is enriching, which may be a learning experience, but it was extra. To exist, you don't need any of this. This is the spiritual perspective on self and on life. And if we live in this awareness, which we call soul consciousness, as opposed to body consciousness, then we, no matter what happens, we always have this as our basic, what is the word? Baseline. Yeah, this is your baseline. Everything is extra, but if it's not there, you're fine too. This perspective, and if we live from this awareness, we will be fearless. We will feel that security that Varsha was talking about. Deep inside, you will feel safe. Because even this body is your vehicle. It's extra car. Something wrong with the car, you get out of the body. You're still you, the soul. And meditation is about making this awareness strong, remembering again myself as a soul, a being of light. This is the recipe for the freedom mindset. And then we can approach life, situations with that attitude of being a visitor or a witness or a traveler, a guest, a trustee. I don't need anything because I already am full and self-contained, self-sufficient. And this becomes extra. Now, this mindset makes us anxious all the time. Because first of all, we don't know when this moment is there. And all these things that I have acquired, I have accumulated, I have received, I have worked hard for, they can change anytime. They can finish anytime. So if I define myself based on that, and if I feel happy or peaceful or loved based on that, I will always be anxious that it will change. Even if it is there, I will still be anxious about tomorrow because maybe tomorrow it's not there. And we know this is a temporary world. One thing that you have for sure, one guarantee that you have is that things will be changing. But what doesn't change is the being of consciousness that is you. And more you are in touch with this awareness, more you experience that freedom mindset, that mind that feels secure, that mind that knows immortality. More you enjoy the game also. If I am in bondage to this mic, it can cause me sorrow. But if I don't need it, I can use it. It's a nicer experience. I can appreciate those flowers more without expectations. But if I expect them to be there tomorrow, if I get dependent on them to feel good, then I don't like you looking at it too much. Because I will be scared that you might want them and take them. You understand? And these silly games that we can play and we assume and project. Or somebody else says, I have much nicer flowers at home. And then I feel, am I missing something more even? Whilst the freedom mindset, you are happy for someone else's success. You are happy for their achievements. Their achievement doesn't make me insecure, more insecure. That is the freedom mindset. In this mindset, some complication always there. Why don't I have at least as much as she has? Why don't they appreciate? If somebody gets praise and I immediately think, why don't they praise me? In this mindset, you are happy. And you're happy for their success and their praise. Understand? This is our potential. And not only it is our potential, I feel spirituality, this knowledge says this is natural for us. We have moved away from this. Somehow we've gotten trapped in this illusion that I am, where we identify with the body and with external physical things, and we have forgotten that we are spiritual beings. Okay, anyone want to say anything? Ask anything? Play with this. No, maybe tomorrow or the whole of the week. Play with this thought. No, I am a spiritual being. Innately godlike, a being of light, a being of consciousness. And this life is an extra gift. This body is an extra gift. Every interaction is an extra gift. You know, what is this? Those who have heard me asking can't say. What is this? Huh? A miracle. Yeah, you have heard me say this. This is a miracle. What is this? Another miracle. What is this? Another miracle. What is this? Another miracle. Do you wake up every morning and say, wow, so many miracles? No, we don't. We think of that boss that we don't like. What is this? This mic. Man made miracle. I don't know how it works. It works. You put in some battery and it functions. Doesn't even have a cord connected there, but it works. Zoom is another miracle. Man made miracle, but it's not a miracle. We are surrounded by miracles. But we mortify ourselves with thoughts of boss, and boss might not even be aware. You see how we put ourselves in jail? And not because we are bad, but we don't pay attention to these things. And spirituality just want to tell us, pay more attention to what is there, but you haven't paid attention to it. Meditation is about paying attention to the invisible, the soul, and the world of the soul, and becoming aware of it, beginning to see the miracles, beginning to see the miracle that is you. Okay. Time flies. So play with this for the coming few days. Think of yourself as a spiritual being and begin to see all the extra gifts. Let's close with a moment of silence.